Are you ready for the most depressing Christmas movie ever? Today on the Bearded Movie Guy looks at It's a Wonderful Life. It's Classic Tuesdays. Yeah, let's look at it. It's a Wonderful Life. Is it? Is it though? Brought to you by the Bearded Movie Guy. Hi, the Bearded Movie Guy. Today I'm talking about It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life is a 1946 film directed by Frank Capra, starring Jimmy Stewart and a bunch of other people. I'm not going to look up the names. So, if you've never heard of It's a Wonderful Life, you probably are bare. If you've never seen It's a Wonderful Life, then, you know, it's a movie that is a classic. And I'll be honest, I did not watch it for many years. And when I finally did watch it a bunch of years back, I turned it off halfway through because it was depressing. It really is, because it's all about this guy who is such a nice guy, but he just keeps on doing the right thing and it screws up his entire life, or does it? That's what you got to find out. It's about a guy basically named George Bailey who constantly kind of due family issues, and through his small town always ends up putting off what he wants to do with his life. He wants to travel, but he puts it off for his family. Then he wants to go on a great honeymoon, but he puts it off for his family. He puts it off for the town folks, for the helping out people, for like whatever they need him. He constantly is thinking of everyone else except himself. And then a terrible thing happens to him where he actually contemplates suicide because he's just not sure. Well, he thinks that his life is worthless. And it's all about this little angel named Clarence, who's really cute and funny. Not like he's not animated or anything. He's like a guy. He's just not very big. And he comes and he's trying to earn his wings, so he's trying to save George Bailey. You've probably seen this movie. If you've never seen this movie, you've seen the trope that this movie started. This movie started the what if I didn't exist trope. As far as I know, that didn't exist in movies until this. And what he does is he basically takes George Bailey out of that situation. He never existed, so a bunch of stuff happens to the town that didn't happen in his reality because he wasn't there. Or he was there, but it doesn't matter. It does either way. And so like his brother dies because he didn't save him when he was 8. And then like the town ends up in the clutches of this evil businessman because he wasn't there to save them. And his wife ends up, you know, a spinster, which is basically old-timey talk for never married and, you know, not happy. Yeah, okay, so this is just a classic movie. And like I said, it's depressing. And the first time I tried watching it, I turned it off because I'm like, I feel bad for this guy. But if you can get through it, if you can suffer through all that hard bits and like the disappointing bits for this guy, because you really like George Bailey, if you can get through that and then see what happens at the end, it is so worth it. I'm not going to ruin the ending for you. I'm just going to tell you it's so worth it. This is one of the classic movies that everyone shows at Christmas. Finally watched it with my daughters, Take a Shot. And it's just one of those things where, like, again, it's depressing for parts, but it's so worth it if you can get through it. I really enjoyed it. My daughters really enjoyed it. My wife really enjoyed it. Everyone really enjoyed it. You'll probably really enjoy it too. Overall, I give it... See, it's one of those things. I wouldn't call it a perfect film, so I'm not going to give it 5 beards out of 5. But it's a really solid film. So I say 4 beards out of 5. If you love this movie, please don't hate me. If you've never heard of this movie, then you'll probably get what I'm talking about. But it's pretty classic. And Jimmy Stewart is great in it. But Jimmy Stewart is great in most movies he's in because he's Jimmy Stewart. Yeah, check out It's a Wonderful Life, or tell me if you've seen it, if you love it, if you hate it, if it's too depressing, did you get through it? And until next time, stay bearded. You've been watching the Bearded Movie Guy talk about It's a Wonderful Life, because it is a wonderful life. For most of us. I don't know. If you're watching YouTube, that means you have YouTube, which means you have Wi-Fi, which means you probably have a wonderful life in some way. Yeah. Subscribe and tell your friends about their wonderful lives. And as always, YouTube safely.